Around the world, 100 million people, about 1 of every 70 people on Earth, need life-saving support, yet all our humanitarian appeals are chronically underfunded. This according to UN Secretary-General Ban KiMoon, who spoke to the press this week ahead of world leaders arriving in New York for the 70th session of the General Assembly. He said he was shocked to see how refugees and migrants are being treated on the border of Hungary and Serbia.
Men, women, and children fleeing war and persecution deserve real support, including asylum. I ask those standing in the way of the rights of refugees to stand in their shoes.
The Secretary General commended the countries that are doing all they can for people in need, and he's appreciative that the European Union has been discussing this matter very closely despite some difference of positions.
People facing barrel bombs, brutality in their country will continue to seek life in another. People with a few prospects at home will continue to seek opportunity elsewhere. This is natural. It is what any of us would do for ourselves and for our children.
Mr. Ban will convene a high-level meeting on the 30th of September to mobilize a humane, effective, and rights-based response to the refugee crisis. Malaria death rates have plunged by 60% since 2000, and an increasing number of countries are on the verge of eliminating the disease. This is according to a new report by the World Health Organization and UNICEF, which showed that the Millennium Development Goal target to have halted and begun to reverse incidence of malaria by 2015 has been met.
There has been a 37% decrease in malaria cases over the last 15 years, and that mortality has fallen by 60% among all age groups. And this has resulted in an estimate of 6.2 million lives saved over the last 15 years.
Despite tremendous progress, the UN says malaria remains an acute public health problem in many regions. In 2015 alone, there were an estimated 214 million new cases of malaria, and approximately 438,000 people died of this preventable and treatable disease.
It's also important to point out that malaria still remains a disease of poverty, and that millions of children in sub-Saharan Africa, mostly from the poorest households in remote rural areas, still do not have access to insecticide-treated nets or effective treatment. And reaching them will be critical if we want to achieve equitable and sustainable development.
Globally, an estimated 3 billion people still remain at risk for malaria. In the remote Nanwali district of Pakistan, an Afghan refugee woman single-handedly introduced education for the refugee girls of Kot Chandana village. Now Akila Asifi is the 2015 winner of the UN Refugee Agency's Nansen Refugee Award, which recognizes outstanding dedication and service to forcibly displaced and stateless people.
است تعلیم باندې نه پویدل نه د تعلیم په اهمیت باندې پویدل نه هغوی پویدل چې تعلیم د ژوند لپاره څه ضرورت دی بالکل د دې ضرورت احساس هغوی ادا خلک نه کول الکان مکتب ته تله هغه هم کله حاضر و او کله هم غیر حاضر و مکتب و د الکانو نمونه و مگر هفته دوی مکتب ته نه تله انجونو لپاره خو مکتب ویل او درس ویل بالکل یو مذهبي توهین و.
It started in 1992 when Asifi and her family fled Kabul and ended up in Nanwali. What struck her most was the complete absence of schools for girls. Asifi didn't want to challenge the community's strict cultural traditions, but she felt girls had the right to learn. After months of persuasion, a few families agreed to let their girls go to Asifi's school. Soon she was teaching dozens. The borrowed tent used for a classroom was eventually replaced with permanent schoolrooms equipped with chalkboards and desks. To date, Asifi has guided more than 1,000 young girls through her school, including local Pakistani girls.
چې زه هر لحظه خپل یو شاګرد ګورم چې هغه قلم په لاس کې دی او خط لیکي، هغه د ژوند مشکل حل دی، هغه هر چیرې چې ځي خط ویلی شي، کوم لاوه ویلی شي، کوم شی لیکلی شي. ما ته د دوی د ژوند هره لحظه یو انعام دی، هره لحظه یو بخششي ده، هره لحظه یو خوشحالي دی چې زه همیشه په دې خوشحالي سره مخامخ کېږم.
Asifi will receive the Nansen Medal at a ceremony in Geneva, Switzerland in October.